students. This is lesson 2 today. It's on page 7 if you've printed out the note packet. If not, that's okay. Just write along in your blank paper. Okay, you learned these words yesterday. You learned how to recognize them on a picture. So today you're going to learn the math part about them. Corresponding angles, picture where they are. Those are always going to be congruent. It's the symbol for congruent. That means they're going to have the same measure. Alternate interiors, you should know where those are. Picture that real quick. Those are always going to be the same measure. These are kind of just your rules. Alternate exteriors are also going to be congruent. Now this is only when the two lines that your transversal cuts through is a parallel. So yesterday you could have two lines like this, and that's a transversal. This is only going to work if they're perfectly parallel. Okay. All right, now these are different. If you are consecutive same side interiors, one's going to be acute and one's going to be obtuse. So they're not going to be congruent, but they're going to be supplementary. Which means they're going to add up to 180. And the same goes for same side exterior angles. They're going to be supplementary. And you'll usually be able to tell by looking at them whether they're equal or not, the two angles. And we already know that vertical angles are always congruent and linear pairs are always supplementary. So these are a few more angle relationships that have rules. Okay, so now let's go and find this angle 3, and it says identify the angle pair as congruent or supplementary. So now we're going to test out what the rules are that we just wrote down. So 3 and 5 are right here. Those are called alternate interiors, so we know that they are congruent. 1 and 8 are here and here. That was same side exterior, because they're on the same side of the transversal, but exterior of the parallels. And you can see this one's acute, less than 90. This one's obtuse, more than 90. So they can't possibly be congruent. They are supplementary. I'll just do a couple more. 2 and 6. 2 is up here, 6 is right here. Those were corresponding angles. They're in the corresponding positions. And that's larger than 90. That's larger than 90. So we know those are congruent. So that's how you can kind of recognize them. All right, now let's assign an actual degree measure to it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now it says if the measure of angle 1 is 65, you only need to know one of these 8 angles and you can find the other 7. So let's see, right here. Angle 1 is 65. So there's 3 other angles that are also 65 for various reasons. Angle 3 is vertical to angle 1, so you know that it's going to be 65 because all vertical angles are congruent. Now look at angle 7. 7 and 65 are alternate exteriors, so you know that's also 65. And now look at angle 5. And you could look at 2 things. Angle 5 and this angle are corresponding, or angle 5 and angle 7 are vertical. There's a lot of different reasons that this is going to be 65. Depends on which angle you're comparing it to. Okay, so everything else is going to be supplementary to that. So 180 minus 65, sorry, I'm getting out my calculator. All right. So let's look at this one. Let's look at angle 1 and angle 2. So they form a linear pair. That means if that's 65, that's going to be 180 minus 65. What did I just say? 115. So that's 115 because it's a linear pair with angle 1. Go and look at angle 8. You know angle 8 and angle 2 are alternate exteriors, so you know they're going to be congruent. So that's why angle 8 is 115. And then we can do the little bow tie trick. Angle 8 and 6 form that little bow tie. That was vertical, so if 6 and 8 are vertical, then they are congruent. And then angle 4 is in here. It's getting pretty messy, but 4 is vertical to 2. 4 is also corresponding with 8. 4 is also alternate interior with 6. There's 3 different reasons right there why that's also going to be 115. Okay. I'm going to skip page 8 and go over to page 9. Because now it's the same idea and the same rules, we just have to apply some algebra to it. Page 9. All right. So they want us to classify the marked angle pair and give their relationship, then solve for x. All right. So if they're talking about 58 right here and 5x minus 2, those are called corresponding. So you know they're congruent. So you know that they have the same measure. They are equal to each other because they are corresponding. Corresponding is always congruent. You know that that angle is going to be 58 also. So you solve for x. Let me speed solve. Plus 2, 60 equals 5x divided by 5 divided by 5, 12 equals x. Okay, so that's review from Algebra 1, but setting it up the right way is this new information. All right, look at where they are. Up here in the top right, down here in the top left. That you can see is an obtuse angle. That's an obtuse angle. Those are alternate exteriors. They are always congruent. So the same thing, you know you can set it up as this angle equals this angle. And then you can solve. So if it's congruent, you're going to put the equals in the middle. Let's do one that's not. There we go, number 3. Because if you look at where this, oh, yes they are. Skip that one, go to they're all equal. There we go, go to number 8. Okay, so one expression is right here on an obtuse angle, and one expression is right here on an acute angle. So these are on the same side of the transversal, same side, but they are on the exterior of the parallels. So if you look back at your notes, you wrote same side exteriors are not equal to each other. They are supplementary. So now you're doing adding them up. You know that they add up to 180. They don't equal each other because they're not congruent. One's big and one's small. So it's that angle plus that angle adds up to 180 is all you know. And so then you just fill in the information you have. 9x minus 33, 5x plus 3. So those are the 2 different setups. And then you solve for x, combine like terms. I'm not going to do that now. Great, let's see if there's anything else we should discuss. I think that's it for today. Just remembering the 2 scenarios. Are you congruent or are you supplementary? Is the equals going to go in the middle, or are you going to have this sum equals 180? So good luck on your lesson and ask us for help.